In this episode, I will talk to you about the 5-second rule, a powerful tool to help you take action. With this technique, you'll learn how to overcome doubts and fears that hold you back and take steps toward your goals with confidence and clarity. Join us as we explore how to embrace change, take control of our life, and become the best version of ourselves. Welcome back to the Mind Your Business Mentor podcast. I'm Stephanie, your mentor and your host. I want to congratulate those who made the first decision to take the MYB Life Assessment. I hope it gave you some insight on the areas of your life that require attention and a snapshot of your starting point. Change can be scary, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed and stuck in a rut. But by taking the MYB Life Assessment, you've already taken the first step toward taking control of your life, achieving self-mastery, and becoming the asset that you were designed to be, one decision at a time. There's no business more important than yours. Personal development is the most important work you will ever do. You want to be an entrepreneur? Excellent. Note, before you can be a boss, you first must learn how to boss or manage yourself. According to Wikipedia, the phrase, mind your own business, is a common English saying, which is a request that you respect another person's privacy. The origin of this phrase came from the Bible. Wikipedia states theologians did reference a Bible verse that states exactly what this concept is all about. It is 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 11 through 12. The New International Version reads, "And to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business and work with your hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders and so that you will not be dependent on anybody." The Greek phrase sums it up in 2 words that translates as manage yourself. Again, I congratulate you. Nice job. Now let's keep moving forward. So you've used the first tool in our process of creating a mind your business lifestyle. Now that you know what work you need to do, let me give you a tool that's going to help you take action on making those changes. It's called the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. This rule has become incredibly popular over the past few years for a good reason. It's a simple but powerful tool that can help you take action and make better decisions in all areas of your life. So let's get to it. What is the 5-second rule and where did it come from? The 5-second rule is a technique that was developed by Mel Robbins, a motivational speaker and author. The rule is based on the idea that if you have an impulse to do something, you must act on it within 5 seconds, or your brain will start to talk you out of it. This could be anything from getting out of bed in the morning to making a phone call you've been putting off for weeks. Now, how does the 5-second rule work? It works by interrupting the habit loops that are formed in our brains. When we have an impulse to do something, our brains start to form a habit loop, which consists of a cue, a routine, and a reward. The cue could be anything that triggers the habit. The routine is the behavior that we do automatically, and the reward is the positive feeling we get from completing the routine. By counting from 5 to 1, when we have an impulse to do something, we interrupt the habit loop and give ourselves a window of opportunity to take action. This window of opportunity allows us to bypass the part of our brains that tries to talk us out of things and take action before we can overthink it. Now, the science behind the 5-second rule. It's based on the science of metacognition. which is the ability to think about our own thinking. When we use the 5-second rule, we're engaging in a form of metacognition by becoming aware of our impulses and taking control of them. This can help us break out of the old patterns of behavior and make new, more positive habits. Using the 5-second rule can have a number of benefits. It can help you overcome procrastination and take action on your goals, make better decisions by trusting your instincts, improve your confidence and self-esteem by taking action, break out of negative thought patterns, and focus on positive outcomes. Now let's talk about a few examples that this rule can be applied to in the different areas of your life. This first example is the exact example that created the whole 5-second rule in the first place, according to Mel, and that's getting out of bed in the morning. Then there's the making a phone call that you've been putting off, completing paperwork that you know needs to be done, starting a new project or business venture, going to the gym or starting a new diet, speaking up for yourself, speaking up in a meeting, or even in social situations. Well, I would like to tell you how I use the 5-second rule. Now, I have used it hundreds of times. I think you'll find this last occasion pretty interesting. So I was at a meeting. It was a social get-together, and the subject of my podcast popped up. Now, let me tell you some backstory first. At the beginning of this year, I made a conscious decision. It wasn't on January 1st, but it was close enough. And that decision was that I was no longer going to think about doing things. I was going to do them. I was so tired of telling people. They would say, "What are you into? What are you up to now?" And my response would all be, "Oh, I'm working on this. I'm building that. I'm getting ready to launch this. I'm getting ready to release that." That was always the conversation. And I was truly tired of it. I mean, sincerely tired of it. So I knew that the conversation was going to come up. And the reason that I knew that is because the podcast was supposed to launch at the end of January, and it was March 24th, actually the 25th. And it all happened so fast. I mean, I felt like it was happening in milliseconds, because as soon as I started thinking about this, that's when the question was posed. And my first impulse was to give him a date. I was staring at my phone and I 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes, the podcast is launching on April 3rd. And I just so happened to know that April 3rd was the following Monday because I had another appointment on that day. I figured a week should be good, right? A week has to be good. I didn't know if a week was long enough or not. It didn't matter because at that particular time, I had to push myself. It was mandatory that I pushed myself. I was trying to interrupt the pattern of procrastination. Now, was I procrastinating on purpose, intentionally? No, not at all. But my procrastination comes in many phases, in many forms. One of the forms being overwhelmed, biting off more than I can chew. I'm involved in 2 organizations. I have an online business. I'm getting my certification for life coaching. I'm always involved in some type of entrepreneurial training, and not to mention the personal things that I do for myself. I spend 3.5 hours every morning for my me time. That me time is I wake up at a certain time, I meditate, I pray, I read the word, I do my studies for life coaching and for personal development. I exercise, I take a 35-minute walk, and then I start working. Needless to say, I be busy. I be a little busy, which is one of the reasons why I had not launched the podcast. But it was a piece that was definitely missing from the puzzle. It's a platform that I needed to build for myself. And it's also a place for training. I can't tell you all of the different strategies that I'm actually deploying with the launch of this podcast. I am truly on a mission, but my mission is not just about me, although I do get some benefit. My mission is really about the people who choose to listen to me, the audience that's been waiting on me. I want to help you get past some of the hurdles that I've gone through myself. I've been into entrepreneurship for quite some time. Just to give you an indication, I started a candy store out of my bedroom when I was 8 years old. Sometimes I feel like I knew more about business then than I do now. I'm just kidding. But hindsight is 2020. That whole venture started from a need that I seen, even at 8 years old. I lived in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and we were about a half a mile away from the convenience store that we all used to walk to together to get our candy and just to hang out. But there were kids that lived across the street from my house that wanted to go to the store too. They were too young to walk to the store by themselves, and the parents felt like we were too young to chaperone them to the store. So my thoughts were, why not bring the store to them? So I started buying candy by the droves, by the handfuls, and I put them in shoe boxes in my room, and I started selling them out of my room. Because that's all business is seeing a need or a problem and supplying the need or solving the problem. And I've been doing that for years. I've braided hair. I've been in multi-level marketing. I did real estate. I started a clothing line. I wrote a parenting program. I've had several online businesses and on and on and on. But like I said, I decided to do the Mind Your Business Mentor because I wanted you to learn from the experiences that I've had. I wanted you to learn from the mistakes that I've made. And I also wanted you to learn from the knowledge that I've gained over the years. And it's not about a specific business industry or product or service. It's about you. You being the person that wants to start a business. I want you to understand that you are the business. You're the asset. You're the most important piece to this puzzle. You have to develop your business knowledge. You have to develop your character, integrity, honesty, punctuality, high quality service. You have to learn how to manage your emotions, manage your finances. You have to learn how to create strategic and powerful relationships. All these things contribute to an unbelievable business, a business that you can manage from a distance because you constructed it so well. It's modeled after who you are, that you know that anybody running that business, that your customers are going to be taken care of. Now, I know I'm speaking way down the line, especially if you're just getting started. But if you have this thought process in the beginning, that's how you'll operate from the beginning, and you'll save yourself a whole lot of time. You will definitely save some money, and you will make a fortune. Your business can only be as strong as the weakest link. Don't be the weak link. You're the founder. You are the reason for the business. And Mind Your Business Mentor wants to help you become the asset that you were designed to be, so you can create a life and not just a business. I'd like to close with this quote. The difference between success and failure is often the ability to make a decision and take action on it. Steve Jobs. Making a decision and taking action is exactly why you need the 5-second rule, a simple but powerful tool that helps you take action and make better decisions in every area of your life. If you found this episode helpful, please leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform, and don't forget to tune in to the next episode. If you haven't taken your MYB life assessment, it can be found on our website, the mindyourbusinessmentor.com on the homepage. Take your assessment today and catch up with us so that you can start taking action on becoming that asset that you were designed to be. And now I'll leave you with a little advice from your mentor. Mind your business.